Hey, and welcome back to another inspiring episode of ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes, where we explore the people, ideas, and innovations shaping the future of fashion. Today, we are honored to introduce Natasha Nogan, a true pioneer in sustainable fashion with over 20 years of experience. Natasha is a visionary founder of Benu Apparel, a women's fashion brand inspired by the mythical Benu bird, a timeless symbol of rebirth and transformation. Staying true to this ethos, Benu Apparel's designs embody personal transformation, empowering women to feel confident, regal, and fully themselves. From sewing her first garment at the age of 7 to showcasing stunning sustainable creations at New York Fashion Week, Natasha's journey is nothing just short of extraordinary. In this episode, we'll dive into the evolution of sustainable materials, the challenges and the opportunities within ethical fashion, and the power of high vibration fabrics to elevate not just style, but our well beings. Natasha's passion, creativity, and unique approach to conscious designs are truly contagious. And I can't wait for you to hear that story here today. So stay tuned. Yes, thank you so much, Natasha, for joining here us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, it is a pleasure to have you here. Please introduce yourself to us and our audience, and we would love to.
I'm Natasha Nogan, owner and designer of Benu Apparel. I'm a sustainable fashion designer and I do runways and I've been sewing pretty much since I was 7. So this is my passion for fashion.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, tell me about more. You said Benu Apparel. So, what is it about? What you do?
Well, originally I started off making like festival clothing and performance arts for like fire dancing and things like that. Throughout the years, it's kind of evolved into a much bigger process that I ever really imagined, actually. I just had recently had the pleasure of dressing Mims, the 2000s rapper, that This Is Why I'm Hot song.
Wow.
And then I dress like indie designers and or singers. I get to design for them. And I have a runway in September for New York Fashion Week, and then after that, we're going to Paris.
Well, I'm very excited about that. We had a conversation about, so we'll definitely gonna dive into it deep and have some more conversation to it. But I'm gonna just want to start from the beginning so we can
Okay.
understand and more, relate more with you how it all started. I mean, how did you get into the fashion, or you were born in it, like you were loving
I
it? So,
wasn't born into it. When we were younger, we lived out in the country, and my mom had a bridal store, and my dad had the karate studio underneath the bridal store. And when we'd get home from school, I would go upstairs and play on the little sewing machine making doll clothes. And I used to see all these beautiful women coming in trying all these gorgeous dresses. And I was just a little girl, like staring at them, like, I just knew that I wanted to make beautiful dresses for beautiful women.
yeah.
And so I started making doll clothes and things like that.
Wonderful. So when we had the intro call, you said that you started sewing clothes when you were 7.
Yeah.
So how, I mean, you told me that you saw the beautiful women's make having a beautiful clothes, but how did you get into sewing by yourself, or you were just about, because some people they just focus on wearing clothes but not making by themselves. So how it all started.
I was bored a lot. We didn't have TV, and we lived out in the country, and I was also grounded a lot. So I was in my room, and I needed to like do something with my life. I was just really bored, and
Oh wow.
also I never really found fashion at the mall that I liked, or clothes that really fit my the design aesthetic that I was looking for. So I just started taking apart old jeans and adding patches down the sides and repurposing clothing. And I sold my first pair of pants when I was 15 years old
Wow.
to my friend.
Okay.
And we're still friends to this day.
That's because of that jeans.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're still friends to this day, and that was the first pair that I ever sold. And then
Mhm.
I kind of really got into the music scene, and back then it was really different. Like, you can bring your craft with you to the show and sell it there, or people made food, clothes,
Right.
you know, t-shirts, whatever they were selling. And I just brought my craft with me, and then I started traveling a lot, and so I was crocheting, and I can literally crochet you a sweater without without any measurements, without a
Oh,
pattern, just sitting there. Like, I could do them all the way down to your ankles. I can make dresses and
that's
anything
amazing.
crocheted. I could do that too. Yeah.
So of course it's in the blood, without a doubt. It's in the blood. It
Yeah, I
wasn't.
think so. Maybe I was an old lady in my past life. I don't
No,
know.
you don't look good. You look good. But I was about to say, so back in time when people get bored, they get creative. So,
Right.
right? Nowadays we have so many distractions. Don't ask.
Yeah, in my day, we didn't have cell phones.
Well,
Cell phones really didn't come out until I was like in my 20s.
oh.
So we had like a TV and like an old VCR,
Hmm.
that we kind of watched like kung fu movies on, really, more than anything.
Oh
So
yes. Oh yes. So did you also have some interest in martial arts? Have you ever tried that?
yeah, I used to do martial arts a lot. My dad was a teacher, and he taught all of us how to do that. Like, I would go upstairs and learn how to sew, and then go downstairs and learn how
Oh.
to fight. And we used to go into tournaments a lot.
Oh.
And my brother actually went into the big leagues and got the medium championship belt.
Oh
And they
nice.
used to tour around and do
It was in the
cage fighting type
States.
things. Hmm?
It was in the local or in the out of states he was going to.
He traveled and went out of state to Arizona, New Mexico, and California, and
Oh wow.
yeah.
That's good. I also was in the martial arts last year, but then
Really?
because of the time I quit in the meantime, but I was actually planning to go back today.
No way.
Exactly. I was thinking
This
about
is
when I was,
insane.
yeah, when I was driving back to home and I was like, yeah, I'm too lazy nowadays. Maybe I should go back to martial arts. So I went to only one tournament and I got second prize. And
Oh,
yeah, it was
nice.
a very wonderful experience, but you have to be really fast.
Very fast and really dedicated, and
Exactly.
and I was just a little girl at the time. I had braces and glasses, and I used to wear pigtails, and I was like really tiny in the beginning, and I would just play it off like I was meek and shy.
Okay.
But then as soon as they said Ajame, I like turned into this completely different person. It was like,
Oh,
wow.
wow. Of course, that's in the blood too. So why not? Right?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
won a lot. We won
Yeah.
we won a lot of the tournaments, and then usually at the end it was like me and my sisters left standing.
Going against each other. Ever happened?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm not gonna ask who won. That's a that's another thing. So yeah, that's very good. The thing about me is I'm kind of slow mover. I don't move
Mm,
fast. So that's the only thing that I need to work on, but I'll do when I get back.
okay.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. But one question still in my mind out of curiosity. The jean you sew when you were 15 and you give it to your friend, does she still have it?
I don't know. I would have to ask
You can
him.
have asked.
Yeah, I will have to ask him, but also that's like 28 years ago, so I'd be really
Oh.
surprised.
If she still has it for like 20
It's actually
years,
a guy.
we should put that in a museum and we should be that would be a pure example of being sustainable and keeping your
Absolutely.
clothes. Exactly. That's right.
I'll ask him and see if he still has them, but I think it's highly doubtful, but I will ask.
Maybe she or he will passed it on. Could be some other thing.
Possibly.
Possibly. Yeah, that's right. So that's how you started with fashion, but how did you get into sustainable thing or what or it was in your culture or how did
It
you?
was in our culture, into the festival scene. Everybody was really into like healthy eating, organic foods, just a healthier, cleaner lifestyle. So, with the healthy eating and the mindset, the fabrics really came along with it. And when I first started sewing, there was real with organic fabrics, there really was only like 5 different types of fabric to choose from,
Wow.
and they were all natural colored, and I think maybe one of them was black, but nothing was like dyed and printed or really stretchy with lycra. It was very basic.
Exactly. Yeah, I was about to come on that, and because we spoke about it in the intro call, and so how? I mean, I just I'm very get curious about the starting days, and when you have only fewer options, how did you get so creative with those, and how did you come up with the ideas? I know you're creative, you're artistic,
Oh,
and
it was actually
but
the most creative time for me
yeah,
because
but you have to be an extraordinary to do that. But
oh, I used to make applique, like full design patterns with like mountains, and it was very sunsets and psychedelic. It was very, I used to sell those skirts for $300 each skirt, and that was 20 years ago.
oh wow,
Yeah, and they used to sell like that. And I'm sure they're still intact, is the thing too, because I used hemp
definitely.
and I sewed them twice. And then I put the applique and these fun kind of pouchy pockets on them. And I used to sell them overnight. As soon as I put them up, boom, gone. I used to make a lot of money off those.
Hmm. Well, so how did you get the inspiration for the designs at that time? I mean, you don't have any social media, you don't have Pinterest to look for the ideas. So what you do? And
That's
you also, I
that's
believe, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off, but you also have limited people to talk to at that time to get some ideas or
right.
other inspirations to do. How you do?
Honestly, I still have some of those same clients, and they still have the skirts.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
amazing. But
Yeah.
how the idea come?
A lot of it was like music inspired, travel inspired, because I would be in a different state,
Hmm.
like seeing the country, and I'd be like, wow, look at those mountains, look at those rivers, or like, I might be in a certain spot where the sun was like shining on me like very intensely, and all of a sudden I'd come up with this like patchwork multi-rayed sun skirt, or like a song or something like that. Just experiences, I guess.
Exactly. Wow. So you also like travel.
I used to love traveling. Now I just travel for runways.
What was your favorite spot to go when you were traveling back in the time?
My favorite little spot I would have to say is in Northern California,
Okay.
in the mountains in Humboldt County.
Nice.
I think that was like my soul's home. I'd go back and forth there, I think, for 20 years about.
Uh-huh.
And then also there was a spot right in between Montana and Idaho, I believe it was. It looked like it was straight out of a movie. Like it was gorgeous. It was so beautiful out there. It really was absolutely gorgeous. People would just park their RVs out into the woods, and you would just drive by. They're just living out there, and there's not much out there but just gorgeous rivers and mountains. It literally looked like a movie.
Wow.
Like Brad Pitt was gonna like jump out of the woods with like one of those fly fishers or something.
No, I love to travel. I mean, wherever I go, and I love to walk. I don't prefer if we have a car or something. I say just walk. Oh, it's like 10 miles. I say, yeah, just walk. Let's
Wow.
walk. So yeah, where you get more time to observe and look at the things when you're walking, and of course it's better for your health. Wow, I love
Well, I mean, I definitely done my fair share of walking. I've
that. Uh-huh.
actually hitchhiked a lot on the West Coast when I was younger with just like my backpack, and just, I don't know, I just went wherever I wanted to go.
Nice. Wow, that's good. Yeah, old young days. right?
Yeah, you couldn't catch me dead doing that now.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Of course, do you when you get the thoughts and you get the ideas, it the environments make it too. I mean, the whenever you're living or doing the work or eating or whatever your mindset is, of course, I believe it's make a huge impact on your creativity.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So after those years, yeah, and of course you're in the fashion industry, you're a designer, of course, a high end. What do you think we're gonna come on sustainability a little bit, being sustainable in the fashion industry, how important it is now or back then? Because
Back then I was more like laughed at and mocked because I was really, it was not common and it wasn't trendy. It wasn't a cool thing to do. You know, people would make weird remarks and just think it was, I was odd. But throughout the years, it's became trendy, and people have realized the impact that it makes, and just even, especially with like, retail stores and buying online and things like that, it's really hard to find sustainable clothing unless you're buying it from like a small maker. You know what I mean? That
right.
basically runs like a small business out of their house and they hand picked everything. There's a few of them around, but as far as like corporations and retail stores and stuff like that, it's very few and far between. But that's my mission now, is to bring it into the retail stores, into the mass market, onto the runways. I still am one of the only people that hit the runways in high fashion with organic clothing.
Wow, that's absolutely wonderful. So how are the options look like these days when we compare it back to the time you said five
Oh
options?
my
Right?
gosh,
Now,
there's like
how much
millions.
in sustainable fashion?
There's so much fabric to choose from. You can get any color, any type of fabric, any prints. You can even get some stores like Spoonflower, I believe, they will print onto the type of fabric that you want. They have like 10 different types of fabric. They have a couple of organic ones. Also, Nature's Fabrics is where I get a lot of my fabrics from. They also do printing, custom printing. So it's like endless. Anything you want, you could get now. It's just amazing.
Anything you struggle with? I mean, you came up with the idea and you said, "Oh, that's the thing that we don't have in sustainable, or
Just the
ethically."
thing right now is Lycra in
Okay.
the stretch fabrics, because just for instance, this is like a bamboo organic cotton with a bit of Lycra.
Hmm.
I haven't been able to find a very biodegradable lycra except for in swimwear, which is a very like hard to find fabric and is very coveted. I know one woman that has the connection and she wants like $2,000 just for me just to know where to buy it from. That doesn't include any fabric,
Wow.
okay?
Wow.
So that's the only fabric that I found that is biodegradable with stretch.
Hmm. I see. So, wow, that's actually interesting. So if a designer wanted to start with a sustainable fashion, they can just easily go with that. They don't have the complaints that, we don't have enough types in sustainable fashion, or fashion going to be boring if you
Right.
do with the sustainability or ethical fabric.
Even still, this is compostable. I've done my own research on putting the fabric. I think I used a bamboo organic cotton. I think it might even have been a fleece spandex, and put it in the dirt.
Okay.
And I also added water as like kind of like mud.
Mhm.
But within 3 to 4 months, it started decomposing and literally like just melting away.
Wow. Wow. That's
But the difference between biodegradable and compostable is that the microplastics from the lycra will now turn into like particles that are so small that you would need a microscope for. So those plastic particles are still in there, even though it's decomposing. Now, if it's biodegradable, that doesn't happen. It's just You know what I mean?
I see. So when you started designing the clothes, what was the first piece that, people loved the most beside the one that you just told me that about the sun and the all the nature things you put on?
Yeah, that was more like my artistic era.
Yeah. So what other, you know, you made the pieces and people loved it, and why? Why was that?
Sorry. Well, I started working with the stretch fabrics and like the yoga pants, the booty shorts, things like that. And then I started tie dyeing them and printing them because I still do airbrushing.
Hmm.
I have a ton of stencils.
Okay.
So I will tie dye certain colorways and then add certain stencils on there with any kind of color I airbrush. I can also add rhinestone crystals like
Wow.
here. Um,
Is this dress you made this?
yes,
Wow. I like the stars things that you put on the top.
thank
Of
you.
course. Yeah. I'm sorry, I cut you off in the middle. I was just asking.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's actually my birthday dress.
Oh,
I
really?
made, yeah, and it's just so comfortable. I wear it all the time now because it's like a long maxi and it's just really comfortable. So I just be wearing it.
Nice, nice. So the dresses that you design now, what
Mhm.
how you so because as I learned fashion, whenever the designer make a collection, they have a story behind it. They thought of something, they come up with the idea, and then they use their creativity to make something. So how that process looks like, how you think about these things.
So basically, I just have done like this whole Benu Apparel, like Phoenix rising from the ashes
Mm-hmm.
type of vibe. And also, so basically going through so much and then evolving into like the strongest, smartest, wisest, more beautiful version of yourself as the Phoenix would.
I see. I see. And that's what you try to reflect it on your clothing.
I do, yes. And then also I have a little tragic love story mixed in there somewhere as
Okay.
well. For New York Fashion Week last year, I put on a more theatrical presentation for Runway 7 at Stony Hall in Times Square.
Mm,
So that one was more geared towards how the raven and the snake, the angel and the demon fell in love in this forbidden love. And um, so first came out the raven, second came out the snake, the third one came out the fuzzy I'm in love. It was all white and
wow.
gold. And then the fourth one came out as the villain, which had like the ski mask on and the Medusa patch in the back. And
Wow.
it was red and black and it was really dramatic. And then, of course, the Phoenix came out afterwards and just took over the whole show. And it was only
That's
five
amazing.
pieces, but it told the whole story very
Exactly. It's
well.
all about the story, how you present it. Right. Wow, that's amazing. So how's your experiences overall in the fashion, runways, and what you're expecting now for the New York Fashion Week?
Well, it's a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. It is
Okay.
probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life.
Okay.
It's very, very hard.
Why is
It's
that?
not easy to get to where I'm at right now. It took years of dedication. I mean, talking no vacations, no birthdays, no family outings, barely leaving my house,
The
constantly,
sacrifices.
yeah, like very focused, very dedicated because I was determined. And it's paying off now. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
made it to London Fashion Week and was one of the final finales, and I was in worldwide press. I think I was in like 18 magazines across the globe, and then thereafter I was like, I'm gonna take a year off
Here.
from runways because I'm tired. I think I slept for the whole month of March and February last year.
Wow.
I was just done.
So
And
which
then
which months are the busier of the whole year?
um Usually, generally, my busy time is in the summer, spring, summer, fall.
Okay.
Then winter, it's kind of like it's not dead, but it's really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But now I started doing prom dresses during the winter time.
Okay.
So it's been picking up that way. And then also now I'm working on signing contracts with retail store clothing. So it's really going to change the trajectory of my whole business plan moving forward.
Nice. Well, so if when you're preparing for a runway, how long before you start putting efforts and work on that?
Oh my gosh. It's changed a lot through the transitions. Like one was 4 months for the 5 pieces, and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe it was so hard for me then. But now I'm doing 30 pieces.
Oh my God.
So I think I signed the contract with them in April,
Okay.
May, June, July, August. So also I've been working on that for 4 months,
Okay.
but now I have 20 pieces completed and 3 pieces in the works and 7 more that I have to do.
Wow.
So
Do you think
from
you have enough? You got enough time? Do you think you got enough time for the
And
seven
then I've
pieces?
also taken dance costumes. I had about 35 dance costume orders that I'm doing right now,
Oh
as
God.
well as my business orders from like my VIP clients.
Wow, of course you if you're doing this amount of work, you're definitely gonna miss all the birthday parties and events. There's
Right.
no surprises, of course, if you're dedicated to it. So, do you think after putting 6 months or 8 months into these things, it worth it?
It depends on what production company that you're working with, and
Okay.
then also how they put you in the press and things like that. And every one that I've worked with has provided me with different outcomes.
Nice.
So, like when I worked with Runway 7, they were like a networking production company. So, as soon as I was done with the runway, my DMs would blow up. Hey, do you want to come to Dubai? You want to come to Italy? You want to come to
Oh,
Paris?
wow.
We want you at Miami
Mm.
Fashion Week. So I've got invited pretty much to every major runway from that production. Um, and then when I worked with Savita from House of Icons in London, she really leveled me up and she really believed in my brand. And I really enjoyed working with her because I worked one on one with the CEO of the whole business. And we created a relationship to where she just leveled me up and she put me in all those worldwide press media. And without her, my press package would kind of look a little lame, to be honest. But
Of
she really
course.
put me in like Paris. She put me everywhere.
Wow.
So yeah, it was
Absolutely.
very nice working with her. And now I'm working with Hot Styles Week, and
Yeah.
they're like on a whole nother level. They're very different the way that they run their production company, but they really gave me opportunities and mentored. Like my mentor now, Dimitri, he has worked with me daily for months with meetings, phone calls, text messages, emails. I wrote a business proposal, 60-page business proposal
Oh, wow.
proposal in 2 days.
Okay.
I did a line sheet, a lookbook, the press kit. I've done so much behind the scenes, not only for the 30 pieces, but now we're talking about the business proposal
Mm.
and everything that I just mentioned, the press kit and back and forth doing the meetings. And if I got, and the mood board and things like that. And he was very kind and patient with me. And if I didn't get it right the first time, he would be like, Natasha, okay, now we're going to take notes. This is what you got to do. And he also brought me to another point that is just mind blowing to me. I never thought that I would be here.
Wow, wonderful. Of course, when you put all your efforts here, God bless you to it. They all open more ways to you, and you meet nice people because I believe, of course, you put your efforts in, but there are people who help you to grow, and you can't do it
Absolutely.
alone. You have to. the people gonna, come together, do the collaborations, or you meet nicer people who help you elevate your style,
Right.
or your whatever you
The
think you're working
business,
on.
yeah. I
Exactly.
feel like I never imagined myself being at the point where I am right now.
Yeah.
And I just went through the steps, with the
Mhm.
different production companies that all offer different things, and here I am.
That's right. Oh, I'm glad. Of course, loved your work.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing, and of course, if it's amazing, that's why you're getting the opportunities, right?
Right.
People see something. People understand your style and the story that you're trying to portray through the dresses you're making. So of course, people love that. I do
Right.
too.
There was one lady from Italy that contacted me, and she said that she said the same thing. She's like, my designs really tell a story and really like build emotion while you're watching and seeing. Like, it's the presentation of it all. And she says we get a lot of very amazing designers with that do good work, but not to say that they're generic, but that's kind of what she said, that they were kind of generic. Like, I think that I really bring a different kind of vibe and energy into the space. Even just me putting my background movie on with the flames and the phoenix, it changes the mood of the whole crowd.
Right.
And they're the anticipation of like, what's this? What's
Exactly.
going
The
on?
environment again,
Yeah. Yes.
So,
I definitely play with the energy in the room, and I invoke feeling, um and I really blow the roof off of it.
oh my God. It's not just limited just to be a designer. You have to see everything to, starting the process.
I play a lot. Yeah.
So you're like a one-man army, like a
I
whole, of course. But
yeah.
of course, what people do you need in your team to execute all this amount of work? Crazy amount of
Well,
work.
the models are, very important,
Yeah.
because without the models, my clothes are just hanging there. So having the right kind of models that present your clothing with the vibe, the walk, and I like powerhouse women
Mm,
and powerhouse men. I just started doing a couple men's pieces, but for the most part, they need to walk strong, have a lot of confidence and really own that runway when they're walking in my
wow.
clothes. So that's very key, important to have the right models.
Exactly. So what about the backstage work, the behind the scenes?
Oh gosh, well, it's really nice to have some assistance. I usually have. It depends on where I am, but I need anywhere between 2 to 5 assistants helping me steam the clothing, dress the models, and obviously the hair and makeup team that's working with whatever production.
You're talking about on the runway day. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, photographers, because the photographers and the press, they're capturing everything.
So one more question. Do you hire your own photographers for that day, or the
I
production company
do.
do?
Yeah, I hire them, or they just come for the opportunity for the free press pass, and then to put their stuff out there, to get noticed or hired that way. I have a couple of specific photographers that I love working with.
Mm-hmm.
For London, I wasn't able to bring them because it was like out of the country kind of thing, but um Savita with the House of Icons had many press media people available, Getty Images and things like that.
Wow. Wow. Of course, that's a lot of things to do. And of
Yes.
course, I always say, and I totally get that too. If you're not passionate about this, you cannot do this. I mean, you cannot
No, you
sustain
need to
this.
really, that's why I say my passion is passion, because
Yeah,
if you're not passionate and have that sincere dedication, and
you cannot do
I
this.
no, you would hate your life.
You will. You will. I don't even, yeah, I get you. If you're doing the work, but the people around you, like your whole family, also gonna tell, oh, what are you doing? You're working 24/7. you open your eyes and you're on the laptop again, and every time you're just working, of course.
Sometimes I will literally fall asleep on the laptop designing clothes. I'll be like answering text messages to production at, we're talking to models at strange times at night,
Right.
and then just waking up and drinking my tea and going right into the sewing room.
Yeah, and it's never ending work.
Never
If
ending.
we think, or the person think, okay, you did so many, you put so many hours, now definitely the work gonna be reduced. But no, hell no,
No,
it's
it
more.
usually gets
It's
more.
more, because every person that I replied to, they replied me again. I have to do that and do look for all the other things. I
Yeah,
totally get
it's a
that.
lot.
I mean, I'm not on your level yet, but I totally get that.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So I'm happy about starting to do manufacturing
Mm-hmm.
and working with the factory and hopefully relieving some of the pressure. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to handle the influx of orders coming in from retail stores and things like that. So I've been wanting to start manufacturing for a long time. So I'm really
Wow.
excited about that.
Amazing. So what's the best thing, or the thing you're gonna be offering in that, in manufacturing?
Actually, so far, one of my favorite things from the buyers is a black jumpsuit that I made,
Okay.
and it has like specific kind of cutouts with the high waisted and um like wide leg, I guess. It's been a huge hit so far. So and my swimsuits are not eco-friendly, however, because I'm still waiting to get that biodegradable fabric here soon. So that's kind of like my next mission, because I don't really believe that the PET, the recycled plastic bottles, is that great. It's not a sustainable fabric, and you're basically wearing plastic bottles on your skin and into the ocean and stuff like that. The idea is great. I love the idea, but personally, it's not for me. So,
Yeah, right. I mean, plastic in any sense, of course, that's a good thing that if we produce plastic, we repurpose that, we recycle it, but still putting it in your body, that's a whole other thing. I mean,
right, like make some tires or like carpets or,
yeah, even
wood
roads. You
or
said that
something.
people, even this, the people are making roads of plastic roads.
Right, yeah,
Exactly. We
exactly.
could use
Something
plastic.
like that.
Yeah,
Building.
we could use stuff over there. I mean, I had an intro call with one more person before we recorded the podcast, and we were talking about the microplastic things, and she actually did the research, and she was telling that even the microplastic is in our bodies now, and
Right.
and you know she was actually saying plastic baby, women who get pregnant and babies have the plastic inside even before they're born. Wow, that was that was so crucial. I mean, it's everywhere.
Disturbing, yeah.
Yeah. So we would have to work. But of course, what's one step at a time. And once you get the opportunity, you get better. You try to get better,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing. Wow, that was amazing. So also, we talk about frequency of fabrics.
Mm,
I would love to talk about that. And
okay.
yeah, please, before I ask any questions, I want you to explain it. What is the concept? What is it?
Well, everything has a frequency, whether it be the plant. I don't know if that plant behind you is real or not, but there's frequencies from the earth that's happening from the sunlight, from the plants, from the food. And it's the same thing as food. It's like you're going to eat certain type of food. Now you're producing a frequency within your body. If you're eating constantly fast food, compared to eating organics, fruits, and vegetables, the frequency of the energy is going to be different in the person. You can almost see it on a physical level about their features and how they actually act. And it's the same with fabrics as well. If you're constantly wearing polyester or synthetic rather than wearing like an organic, or the highest frequency is linen, believe it or not. Linen, you see a lot of like religious people wearing linen
Hmm.
because it's the highest frequency.
Yeah.
Hemp is also a huge it's probably like the second one. Organic cotton. Bamboo is a little bit more down the line because it takes a little bit more to break down the fibers. It's actually better for like building and things like that, compared to like a hemp, a linen, or organic cotton. But it's still on the list.
Wow. So what fabrics are usually you mentioned about linen and the other fabric that would have a positive, you
Hemp.
know, hemp have a positive impact, but which are the popular ones which have a negative
Oh,
frequency?
that would be polyester,
Okay.
which you see everywhere. And even in the high end, that's what I'm here to change. This is what I'm here to break open into the world of fashion, is that make those other fabrics accessible in the retail store and on the runway. That even like the high end stores, they're selling $500 dresses, and you look at it and it's literally polyester.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So what I'm doing is I'm coming in and saying like, hey, now I have this organic cotton, bamboo, whatever that I'm working with, I'm matching your prices. And not only am I matching your prices, but I'm providing a better quality of life for you, better quality fabric, and more high fashion design.
And how people react on that when you explain that this is sustainable fashion, not a fast fashion? Do they realize the impact that fast fashion is making and how slow fashion gonna, be a better thing?
Yes
How
and
do
no.
they
It
react?
depends on who you're talking to, because some people get it and some people just don't care, because it's really about the bottom line. It's about money a lot of the times with almost any business and things, especially in fashion. It moves very quickly,
Yeah.
and people like to buy stuff that's in trends, throw it out or whatever. But I'm really trying to change the trajectory on that, so that, people will wear the garment more than just the season, invest in it, and make it a timeless piece that you are really going to enjoy and wear for many years. My clothing lasts for 10, 15 years. You can wear it without any problems.
Wow.
So,
No, that's amazing. Of course, when it's sustainable, as you mentioned, and of course, when you're having a good quality thing, it's gonna last long if you take care of the thing too,
right.
right? So, wow, that's amazing. And of course, money is a big point, but sometimes because you have to make a choice. Either way you want to go with, you know.
Yeah, see, it's I'm actually at a crossroads right now with it. So that's why I offer a couple different things. Like I have ready to wear couture that I can't really make with eco-friendly fabrics right now, because some of them are like brocades from India. Silk, there's hemp silk now, which I can use. That's pretty much the only fabric, hemp silk, that I can use in a ready to wear couture look. Which is amazing fabric, by the way. Environmental textiles, they manufacture their own fabrics and
Wow.
create them, and it's like the best thing. Hemp silk is the best thing. It's very expensive, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, it's hard to find a fabric besides the hemp silk that I can do like couture looks with, ready to wear couture, high end formal kind of thing. It's kind of almost impossible. That's why I have my eco-friendly casual line.
Hmm.
You can kind of dress it up, you can dress it down,
Yeah.
but it'll never be very formal. I made the bamboo organic cotton velour wedding dress, and it was very, very nice, very formal, and I was able to make a shrug with the long sleeves that were it was formal, but you can't really touch the top class with the with it yet. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like
I'm
it can
trying.
reach there,
Okay.
but you it's still gonna have that like vibe. You know what I mean?
I see. No, I totally get that. So, yeah, that makes sense. Of course, you get better by time, and of course, when you get see more options with more variables, you definitely shift towards that. So we were talking about frequency. How, because you're a designer. you make designs and all that. How do you reflect that frequency in your clothes? How do you try to do that to do something about it or something related?
It's like a subconscious thing more than like I'm consciously trying to do that. Like,
Okay.
because every piece that I make carries an energy within itself.
Okay.
So when I create, it kind of takes over its own frequency, its own shape, like when I'm creating something. So it's kind of subconscious.
Wow. Yeah, so you just think about overall thing, and of course you're in the industry for a long time. It's just like a conscious thing for you. We have to think about it, but you're just natural in it.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even realize my subconscious working. Like, and in New York Fashion Week, I actually picked this fabric the one time for the Phoenix that literally matched exactly to the big logo on the back of the screen, and I didn't even notice it until after I seen the video.
Wow.
And I saw it and I was mind blown. I was like, oh my God, I literally picked every single color that's in the back of the logo onto this dress and it just matched perfectly. Like it was like a subconscious, I didn't
What?
even know I was doing
Yeah,
it
one in
kind of
a
thing.
thousand moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. Also about, we're gonna talk a little about upcycling. So
Hmm.
how, that things, sorry. Okay. So how does that work? How do you
I
try to
like
create that?
upcycling. I don't personally do it anymore. I used to do it often, but I now would like to have a clean slate of like just the blank piece of fabric where I can turn it into my canvas. But upcycling is a great thing, especially if you're just kind of getting started, and it's a great way to repurpose and reuse garments that are sitting at like the Goodwill or Salvation Army or even your closet that you may want to throw away. And then also it's a great way to use patterns, like cut it up and then trace them out and add pieces or dye it or give it a new life.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. I mean, you just have to be more conscious with the thing, and especially the cutting, the production. And I believe the factories that you're also starting are gonna be, of course, the waste we have to prevent, because a lot of factories that, produce garments, even though they're sustainable, the cutting process is very kind of a not so sustainable, I would say. They have a lot of waste.
Yeah, I think a lot of like I said, because it's a business
Hmm.
and they have a bottom line, they try to get things done quickly. I don't really have much experience working with manufacturers yet,
Okay.
but I'm actually about to embark on that
Yeah.
journey right now.
Good luck for that.
So I'm really excited to see how this is going to all work out.
Yeah. So, what are your expectations on that?
I don't like to have expectations because, if you have expectations, it kind of limits what you're manifesting into your existence.
Okay.
So I'd like to keep
That's
my
interesting.
span very open and be able to, attract whatever the universe and God wants me to have. Because if I had an expectation, I'd never be where I am right now. Because I don't even think my mind actually worked that big at the time.
Wow.
You know,
You said it the best. You said it the
yeah,
best. We don't know the plans. You're right. We think
right.
about something, and other things happens, and of course it lead to more things and no more ways we never thought of.
Yeah, I never thought that I was going to be manufacturing for retail stores and signing contracts and getting my designs out in places where I have shopped. That never even occurred in my mind.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, you have. Exactly. I'm just processing whatever you said, and that's exactly that. Those are totally facts, right?
Right. Like I would think more like, oh, I want to dress somebody at the Met Gala or dress a celebrity, performance kind of thing. My mind like
So
went there, but
how
it
you
was so
actually
small.
feel after that? I mean, when things happen unexpectedly and you said, "Oh wow." I mean, what are your reactions after those things?
It's a little different being in it than viewing it from the outside, and sometimes being involved in the scenario, in the process. You don't really see the progress until you're talking to someone else about it,
Right.
or like, people kind of like give you that look like, and then it's kind of like more like brings more realization to it. But once you're like in it, you're just kind of in it, and it's just becomes a day-to-day thing that you do.
Wow. Amazing. Of course. It all yeah, it's just some miracles. I mean, you just go by time and, the timing and all that stuff. Everything matters at that time.
It really does. And then, with the runways, I love it because you get to see it all kind of transform into that creative passion, that and all the work that you've been doing for months, and you see it on the models, you see it in the bright lights, you see with the photographers, and it brings like a whole nother like
Right.
wow, like wow, like I
Exactly.
just did that,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So
So
when you're at the backstage, uh, do you feel some kind of a nervousness, before
no,
going in?
I turned into a total boss.
Okay. I mean, how you turn that, or what exactly that is?
I never even knew until it happened. And I'm just like, all right, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. This is what we got to do. Dress that model, go get your hair and makeup done. Like,
Or maybe you
talking.
don't get time to think about it, I would say.
You don't have, you do
Yeah.
not have time to think, because if you start thinking and wondering, you are going to be behind.
Yeah. Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wow. So amazing. Thank you so much, Natasha, for all
You're
that.
welcome.
And yes, before we're about to, end our podcast, I mean, it was an amazing time. I mean, I learned so much stuff about the runways, and especially of the person who has the creativity in their blood. So, of course, you are the one. I'm gonna picture you the next time somebody asks me that. Totally. I mean, I always praise and I really appreciate that. So, yeah, before we go, and anything you want to share to the audience, to your experiences, or any tips or something like that?
Um, my best advice is, if you really have a dream, just go for it. Just do what it takes to make it happen, and don't listen to anyone else. Don't listen to the people that are like, you're crazy. It takes a lot of risk. I've lost a lot, and to get where I am now. You know what I mean? I lost people, I lost cars, I lost money. You know what I mean? It was a lot for me to lose, but I knew at the end of the day that if I just kept going and going and going and doing what I had to do, it would be worth so much more than anything that I lost. And it's very true.
Exactly. One thing I forgot to say before, but I'm gonna say it now. Of course, when you are passionate about it, even though of course you first of all, you just completely deny that, do not have any expectations. But for the people who have some time, like me, so even if you're passionate about it and you don't get exactly what you expected, but you still kept going, because that's a thing. You do it because you love to do it. It's not
Yeah.
something that you are, have to be behind if you don't get what you exactly needed.
Right, because there's definitely going to be 1,000 no's before you get that one yes, and 1,000 obstacles that are going to be in your way that you have to back it up and push right through. And even if you back it up and push right through, you still don't see the gold coin, or you still don't see the photographers, or even the newspaper or whatever. You still have to go, because, like I said, you're going to get those 1,000 no's before you get that one yes. And once you start getting that one yes, now we got 10 yeses over here. Now people are fighting over you. So it's like, which one do I pick now? You know what I mean? So it's really just about staying focused, dedicated, and having that determination. And like I said, don't be listening to anybody, because if they're not in the position where you want to be, do not take their advice.
Mm.
I've had people tell me, go get a job, go do this, go do that. No, I'm not going to get a job. I haven't had a job in over 20 years. I've been doing this business. I'm not going to get a job during my downtime where I'm struggling or, I'm
Believe in
going
this.
to
Yeah.
push through. I might have a struggling month or two or,
Right.
whatever in the past, but if I were to get those jobs like those people told me to,
Wow.
give up on my dream, I'd be like them because they gave up on their dream and they don't necessarily want to see you succeed because it makes them feel like, you know, bad about it maybe.
I love that. I love that. All the guidance. I mean, yeah, I want to talk more about this. I mean, yeah, it's actually so much motivated me too when I hear this kind of stories that you have to work, and of course you believe in yourself and the work you're putting on. So that's I think the most important thing that you could do.
You have to be delusional.
100%.
Absolutely
100%.
delusional. Just be delusional, delusionally happy, delusionally rich, delusionally successful,
Hmm.
and just kind of in your own bubble that you're manifesting and creating for yourself. Because let's face it, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. Being a boss isn't for everyone. And then when you are a boss and you have to go through the struggles, the loss, the losing out on friends, family time, maybe some days you have no money, then the next day you have all this money. You know what I mean? It's really not for the weak. So it's like you need to be built for that life,
Exactly.
you know?
It only looks cool from the front.
It only looks cool when it's on stage. When the
Exactly.
lights are hitting. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is amazing. Oh no, it's not amazing. It is very hard,
It's
and
hard work.
they glorify it because of the lights and the camera and the action and the magazines and the celebrities wearing the clothes, etc. But
That thing and the people you're working with. I mean, you have to be very so for so many people and so many things at the same times. So
right,
it's not something that everybody could do.
no,
You have
you
to
have to be
be.
built for it.
Exactly. That's 100% right. I mean, I love that. I think this is one of the best outro we ever had on our podcast with so
Oh,
much
thank you.
motivation. Other guests are like, of course, they are good too, but they say do this, do that. But I think this is the best.
Because I really started my business from nothing, from a dial-up internet back when AOL would make all that crackling, creakling noise,
Yes.
and I used scrap fabrics and patched them together and brought myself literally out of the mud.
Right.
And every stitch along the way for the last 20 years have brought me to the big stages from all around the world. I've been invited everywhere to
Wow.
Dubai, Italy,
Wow.
Paris, London.
Amazing. I mean, I'll be looking forward to see you in Manhattan, of course, next month.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're
Yes.
more than welcome to come to the show.
Absolutely, I would love to, of course. It would be my first show. I mean, I missed as I told you, I missed the last this past February. But I'll definitely not gonna miss this time.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely there to put on the show. And like I said, I have 30 pieces. I'm going to be the final finale, so I'm the last designer walking out.
The main
And
event.
yeah, and I also have the most pieces, and so I'm ready to blow the roof off that place. And
Wow,
my models are amazing. My collection is amazing. I will have 10 swimwear pieces, 10 eco-friendly organic casual wear, and 10 ready-to-wear couture.
definitely. Wow, that would be amazing. I could imagine that. From the past that you did, whatever the runways, I've seen that, and of course, it's gonna be absolutely amazing, phenomenal with all the new
Thank
stuff.
you. I'm really excited. I've
Yeah,
been working really hard for months, and like I
gonna
said,
pay off.
I thought I did the 5 pieces in 4 months, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is just out. This is such a big deal." But
Oh my God. Of course, when you push yourself, now now you know your potential that what I'm capable of. That's how
right,
you
and
can.
I didn't even know that I was good with the computer, with AI and Chat GPT and writing business proposals, doing mood boards. I'm amazing at them, and I
Yeah.
never knew that until I was put into that position and I was guided by, by Dimitri, my fashion consultant right now. He told me how to, maneuver things, gave me outlines on how to, how he wanted them to look for the buyers and things like that. And honestly, I was more than impressed with myself when I had the opportunity to execute, and I looked it over and I was like,
Of course, yeah. No, amazing. I mean, you're the inspiration that we should be looking at, and I am looking at you as an inspiration.
thank
And
you.
yeah, this is what happened when you push your limits. Simple. You have to
That's
challenge yourself because the fight that you have is with your own self. I mean, how much you
right.
can put on.
And I have a daughter too, and she's watching me.
Oh yes,
So I feel like, I want to show her that don't give up on your dreams, whatever they might be. I want to be an inspiration for her and give her a good life too.
of course. Children see parents, right? So wow,
Right.
that was amazing. So thank you so much, Natasha, again.
You're
It
very
was it
welcome.
was now I would say it was I always say, but it was a pure pleasure to have you and a wonderful conversation with all the motivation and the guidance and I don't know what things I should say now. I mean, that was a wholesome of the knowledge that you just poured down here in Zayshin Webisodes. I mean, I love that. I actually gonna watch this podcast again. Maybe I'm sure I'm gonna miss a lot of things that you said, but definitely I'm gonna learn more about those things. And of course, the people who are watching it right now, they would be absolutely loving this.
Well, thank you so much for
Yes.
having me. It's
Yeah,
been a
so
pleasure talking with you
yeah,
as well.
just a few just let us know the few dates and the things of about your runways, even some people are watching and want to join you, how they can.
So it's in September 13th. I think the doors open at 5 o'clock and they end at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at the front studio in Hell's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the runway is going to be for September. And it's run by a production company called Hot Styles Week. And they've been amazing. I've been really enjoying working with them. They run things a little differently, but I like the way that they've been doing things. They've given me a chance at leveling up and doing things that I never thought that I could do before. So,
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much again. And thank you so much for everyone for joining us here on Zayshin episodes. It was amazing as always. And yeah, hope I'll see you guys. Anything else, Natasha, you want to say at the end? I mean, we
um,
already had a long conversation. I said that before.
yeah, just, stay motivated and believe in yourself and just go after your dreams because if anybody can show you that it's possible, I have.
Amazing, amazing. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next time.